Good afternoon, everybody. In last class, we were talking about custom tools. Today, we'll come back to custom tools and rotations and translations. So, rotation and translations will be our major activity. Custom tools will have less than here, but still it will be interesting to use them. After my last video, I got a very nice drawing from Bushra, and she made it a really excellent job just revising the pattern that I did in my last video. So now, if you did something interesting, you can always send me, and then we'll make one day exhibition of works that you did during our, well, let's say classes, but they are not really classes. Now, the pattern on the back, this is the pattern that I found on my computer, and this is the pattern from Sinan Pasha Mosque. I have no idea which Sinan Pasha Mosque, because when you're looking through the internet, you will find Sinan Pasha Mosque in a few places, and nowhere is exactly the same picture. So, but let's just keep the name Sinan Passages as a label, and let's see what we have. We will be interesting in this central part. If you just go around, you see that this part is precisely similar to the one that you have here. The small here, square, and then rotating lines around it. Here you have square and rotating, let's say, letter Z around it. So the idea is very close, and the pattern is slightly different, but not really much. So let's go here and let's just concentrate on this central part. For many people, this pattern is quite difficult because they really have no idea how to approach this, and you can do it by rotating one square, putting one character, rotating, and then, so it is a messy job. Let's make it very similar, a very simple one. So I will start drawing a line from this place. I will make this line very fat. This way you will be able to see more or see better. I know that on your screen, this video may not look exactly like we would like to, because the thickness of lines and so on. So I will be trying to use thicker lines wherever it is possible, but otherwise, you know what we're doing. Now let's look at this. Each of these squares is identical. No reflections at all. So here there are no reflections. No reflections. You remember in last example we had a lot of reflections. Here there are no reflections. But this square is exactly like this one. So a line passing this way, a line passing this way, a line passing like this. Here is line, and of course this is the edge, but the line should go like this. So we have no reflections, but we have translations. Okay, So it is enough to make one of these squares to get everything precisely done. And let's do it. So this area, this is a square. So let's go to our polygons and let's make a square. I will make it large because this is what I really need. Now the edges for this square, a color is black, just to make it very simple, and then like this. Also with the points, I don't need to make such a fat points, so point style, just medium is enough. Now, so this is the square. Now the next case, we have to divide each edge into three parts because they will be just going along the main ribs of this pattern. You remember we did already a segment 3 section, so let's apply it. Yes, and then what we can do, we can just add lines dividing the square into parts. I just need 1 point more, so I draw this line and construct a midpoint on this line. I don't need the line, but I needed the midpoint. But you know how to make it point without drawing line. Well, that's not really true. Okay, and now let's move to the next page. Document options, add duplicate to. Okay, and then what we do. Look, here the fat line is going this way. So display line style medium. Okay, then the line is going like this. And then what I can do, I can just grab this point, select these edges and ask to rotate 90 degrees. That's fine. Then transform, rotate 90 degrees, and then transform, rotate 90 degrees. So you see what we did. We did perfectly this, what we have here. This is fat line, is going to this point, is going up, it is going, yes, it should go like this because it is here, and then from this point I have fat line just rotating this way, and then so we have the main lines of this pattern. In fact, if you want, we could finish this exercise in this moment, but let's make it more complicated. So let's add new page with the same thing, and then what I will do. First, I don't need the thin lines. Do I need? Okay, let's keep them for a moment, but just what I will do, I will just mark them like this. Yes, and then this one and this one. Yes, and then make a button, action button, hide and show. So let's try to see. The button is at the bottom here, but we can just see what we got. We got perfectly fine. So now, if we wish to make this pattern, let's say, more elaborated, we have to add special lines. So what I did this already, but I have to just show you how I made it. So let's go to lines. Let's ask to show script view. Okay. And then, okay, the story is a bit longer because I divided this into many parts. But now let's start. That's one point, and that's the other point. And then next step, draw the segment. Next step, find the midpoint. Then, okay, this is what happened when we were drawing. Okay, so Sketchpad remembers all these steps, and this is what we got. So just it was like this. Draw a segment, construct a midpoint, then divide, okay, then divide this part into three equal parts, and then this part in three equal parts. It is like this. Okay, so this is what we did. Three parts and three parts. Okay, so this is what we are getting. We're getting these two lines, and the other points we are just ignoring. So display hide these points. So this is our tool. And now I can apply this tool to every segment like this. And then I can apply it like this, and then I can apply it like this. Now, this is where we are. Now, document options, add, duplicate, page 7. And now let's try to draw the other parts. It will be not very difficult because you see what we are getting. We are getting here display line style, or make it different colors. So we will be just talking about the same, just like this, like this, like this. So this is what we did, okay? And then you can also add these connectors, because if we are talking about wood, the pieces of wood should be connected in some way. Okay, so now again, this point, rotation, yes, and then this point, I will need these points, and here this segment. I think I got everything what I wanted, so that's the rotation point. Transform, rotate 90 degrees, yes, transform, rotate 90 degrees, and transform, rotate 90 degrees. You see, we got these decorations around. Now we have to just fix this part. No. Control Z is undo. Yes. And then what we have to do, we have to ask, but I don't want to mess up. So first, let me to just make construct intersection. Now this line and this line construct intersection, and again this line and this line construct intersection. Okay, so now we are safe. So I just draw a segment connecting this vertex, and then, okay, I guess we did what we wanted. Now, document options, add duplicate page 8, okay, and hide the segments. Now here I'm going to lines, edit, select all lines, edit action button, hide. So now what I have hide perpendicular lines. That is what I already got, okay. And then do I need anything that can be missing here? I think yes, I just did. So transform rotation 180 degrees just to get this point. Okay, otherwise I have all points. Now we can choose colors, whatever you want for this design. Okay, I will just go. Okay, I think that's quite a good set of colors. And by the way, you see, my color palette is also made as a tool. That's a tool that can be put here. So now we start with the mid part. What we want to do here, I think we can make a nice blue, or even this blue. Okay, this color and this color. The color is fine. So that's the one. Now what about the interior for this part? What we can do, I think we can add lighter blue like this one. So color the other one, fine. Okay. Now what about the edges? Let's do it without waiting too much. Okay. I'm building a polygon that is just covering this part. And now what color I would like to have for this thing. Okay, let's make this one. Display color the other one. Do we like it? Well, we can like it or not. Display color like this. That is fine. And now rotations again. Select this, select polygon, transform, rotate. How much? 90 degrees this time. Yes. Okay. Transform, rotate, and then transform, rotate. Now, what about this part? We should cover it with the same color, just this way, and then again yes, and this is what I wanted to do today. So file, document options, add duplicate page 9. Okay, that's fine. I don't need any more colors unless I wish to change something. Okay, now I just want to change the color of the lines. So edit, select all segments. This is what is not important, and let's make the lines just this color. Yes, okay. Are we okay with this? I think no. So edit, select all segments, and let's make a color like this, color the other one. Okay, it will be much nicer. Okay, so we got something. You can experiment with this at home a lot. Now line style thin, I don't need all these lines. And now what I will do, I will just select edit, select all points. I need only these points like this. Edit action buttons, hide points. If I hide my points, I will get this, and this is what I got. I got a really nice pattern. I can make a tool out of this large square. I call it large square. And now I need a lot of space for this design. So let's go to the next page, add duplicate page 10. Okay, and now I don't need this. I don't need my face here. So okay, and let's make it smaller. So this is like this. And then what I do, look, I'm going to large square tool. I can do it this way. Yes, you see what is happening? My tool is just enough. Okay, let's make it smaller. My tool is just enough to make everything this way. Now, what can I do with this? And then one more, one more, one more. If you want, you can just remove everything from here. Yes, all these segments, I don't need them anymore. And of course, you can make this pattern as large as you want. You can add also an edge around everything, a line style, let's say medium. In fact, what we could do, we could just remove these parts, but I don't have really time for this. So this is what I got. And then point, edit, select all points, display, hide points. So this pattern was made in a way that is using a lot of rotations and a lot of translations, and is using tools, and it is using quite complex tool. In fact, the large square, this is the tool that we used here. This is up to you what kind of colors you will use. You can experiment with colors and this pattern. You can experiment also with the thickness of line. For example, you can make these edges thicker, line style medium. You can make them like this, or you can make frames around. Okay, that's a bit complicated because there's not much space here. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Display line style medium. Okay. And I don't need this, so hide this intersection and let's, okay, line style medium. So you have two options, or just make the main lines of the pattern thicker and the inside parts thinner, or you can make the inside part thicker and the main one different size. Yes, okay, so this is what I really wanted to do today. I will be happy if I will get from you your own version of this pattern. So try to look at it, try to analyze it, and then see you next time. So I have to find the stop recording is here.